Hi everybody. I thought I would do a little video about APA. The first assignment's over and done with. It kind of showed me that some of you are struggling with APA format. Some of you have mastered it and good on you, well done. But a lot of you are still struggling with format as to what a paper actually should look like when it's put in APA format. So I'm going to go through an old paper of mine. It's from last fall. I've taken bits and pieces out of the paper, so it's not the entire paper because I think this paper was like 15 pages long. But just to show you how to use headings, what a title page should look like, and what citations should look like, and what a reference page should look like. So let's get started. This is my title page, and you'll notice up in the top heading, if I double click on it, it's running head and then the topic or what my paper is about. I never put my full title up there. I just kind of put what my paper is about. So running head, not capitalized, but aging faculty is in capital letters. And my page number's at the top as well. Double click out of that. And then this is what should be on my title page. My assignment number, the title of my paper, my name, my student number, the course I'm taking, the school that you're in, the date, and your instructor's name. Now, I don't care what order you use. It doesn't matter to me. This is just the order that this professor wanted all this information in. And every professor is different. So you kind of just have to wing it sometimes until you figure out what they want, unless they tell you right up. So that's my title page, running head, page number, and all this lovely information about my paper and who I am. Second page. Now it looks a little bit different because our header just has the topic of my paper and the page number. No longer does it have running head. Now, if you don't know how to do that, let me know. If you can't figure it out, if you haven't found a video on YouTube, because there's lots of videos out there that'll actually show you how to do it, I can do another video and show you how to actually put that up there. So then this is my introductory paragraph to my paper, and you will notice at the very top is the title of my paper. Now, it is the exact same title that is on my title page. It is not in bold letters. So just make that distinction. All the other headings in my paper are in bold, but the title of my paper is not. Now, this is my introductory paragraph that's going to let the reader know exactly what they're going to be reading about in my paper. I have used a number of different citations through this paragraph. So my first sentence, Canada's experience in nursing shortage. And here's my first citation, because that's not my thought. That's actually real, and I got it from somewhere else. So I need to actually reference where I got that. So Brandutro and Haig in the year 2000 wrote an article about the nursing shortage. Now, that's a paraphrase, so there's no quotation marks, and I do not need a page number. There's another way I could write this. I could take I could put these in front. Like this. Suggest Canada's experience. And then I would get rid of this. And I could do it like that. And notice the ampersand that was in the first quotation mark when it's in parentheses is not there when I write it out. It should be actually written out as and. So I could have actually started my first paragraph like that. And I would be given the same information. And again, it's a paraphrase. It is not a direct quote, so I do not need a page number. However, the next sentence is a direct quote. So one of the most critical problems facing the nursing workforce is a shortage of nurse educators. I took that directly out of an article. I need to quote that and give them credit for that statement. So I have the author's names, the year the article was published, and the page I found that on. Now I could write this another way as well. I could, like I did for the first sentence, put their names, and here, let me just do it for you. Apologize if I've taken too long. And again, put the year in parentheses. And notice how I spelt out and instead of using the ampersand. And there we go. And I'm just going to get rid of this capital because it's no longer. And I'll get rid of this because I already have it in my sentence. So I've put them in front. So Kowalski, Daly, and Weingand, year they're published in, state one of the most critical problems facing is the shortage of nurse educators, and the page you found it. And that's exactly how you do it. You have multiple ways of citing the work that you're doing. So you can either put all that information in parentheses at the end of your sentence, or you can put their names at the beginning of your sentence. Just remember, when you're doing a paraphrase, you do not need a page number. However, for a direct quote, you do need a page number. Now, further on in this paragraph, I used three different authors, 3 different publications actually, to support the statement that I used, because I wanted to give it more strength. So I put them in alphabetical order, just the way you see them. And you can do that if you want to give a statement more strength. And that's my introductory paragraph. So then I'm going on to the body of my paper. So the background, I want to give the reader some information on the background of my topic. So I use a first level heading, and it is in bold. And I just go on. This is quite long. So now I'm finished my background. I want to talk about the trended periods that I'm going to talk about. So again, another first level heading. Now I'm breaking up the trended periods into different decades. So then I'm going to use, for my different decades, a second level heading, which is on the left side, still in bold. So I'm going to talk about the 1990s. And now I want to break down even the 1990s even more. And now I have a third level heading. So I've indented it, still in bold. However, notice that the first letter of the second word and all subsequent words is not capitalized. Whereas in a first level heading, trended is capitalized and periods capitalized. So it's not until you get to a third level heading that we no longer capitalize the second word, and I also put a period behind it. Now there's one more. We have a fourth level heading in this paper. So now it's italicized, still in bold, and still note the second and third and subsequent words are no longer capitalized, and the period is still after it. So there's lots of ways you can do it. Now I've highlighted another citation only because this paper, Dassault, and I'll just go down to my reference page to show you. 1 minute. Has more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 authors in the paper. So when you see more than 6 authors on a paper, you do not have to write them all out when you go to cite it. You can actually just put, I'm just going to go back up to it, the first name, write out the first author's name, and then put ETAL period, comma, and the year of the publication. And that's perfectly fine. Now, if you had an article that had up to 6 authors' names, you would need to write out all 5 of their names and then put comma, the year. However, the next time you quote them or you cite them, you then would just put the first author's name and then ETAL period, comma, and just like this one. So you don't have to continually write out. So up to 5 authors, the first time you use their material, you have to write out all their names. When you get to having 6 authors and more, you don't have to do that. You can skip that process altogether and just put ETAL period after the first author's name. And I'm just going to keep it down, still going back to first level. My conclusion, again, is titled with conclusion in the center of the page in bold. And this basically just wraps up everything I talked about in my paper in a nice little package. And the last page I want to show you is my reference page. So what you're going to notice, it's in alphabetical order. The first line of every reference goes to the left-hand border, and all the rest of the lines underneath are indented. Now to do that, and I can't show you actually because I didn't put that part into my viewer. So if anybody can't figure out how to do that, let me know and I'll show you. So the first reference is straight out of an article that I found online. So the name of the article is first. Notice only the first word of my title is capitalized. All the rest is capitalized. Now, if I had a proper noun like the word Canada in there, I definitely would capitalize it. Period. The article name is in italics as well as the volume number. So 26 is in italics. Then I get to the issue. It's in parentheses. It is no longer in italics. Then a comma, the page numbers, and retrieved from, because it was an online article. So I want to let you know where I found it so that if you wanted to go see it, you could go find it. The second reference is from a website. So I went to the American Association of Colleges of Nurses, and that's the year that page was published, and I found this article. So again, the article name, only the first letter of the first word is capitalized, and then I get to the colon, and then again the same thing. So the first word of that sentence is capitalized. It's in italics because it's not from a journal. It's the title of the article, so it's in italics. Retrieved from. This is two authors, and just note how I put them together. Now, some articles have a digital object identifier, and it's a DOI number. So instead of putting retrieved from and having to write out the URL, you can just write down the DOI number because you can find an article using the DOI number. And then I just wanted to show you how you put 5 names together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an ampersand, and then last name, and carry on the same way you have been. And there's the 8 written out, or the 7, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 written out, just the same way you've done all the rest of them. And that's it for APA. Now, if you continue to have issues and you want further clarification, just let me know, and I'll be glad to help you out. Anyways, I hope this has helped. Thanks very much.